Ever feel like that whole become a millionaire by 30 thing is a myth? Especially when you're like staring down student loans and rent. That just seems to go up every single month.
It's a fair question. And it's something that Bruno Davids actually tackles head on in his ebook, Wealth Creation Strategies for Gen Z.
Cool.
It's called Your Roadmap to Financial Freedom.
Okay, interesting.
And that's actually what we're diving deep into today.
Okay, cool.
To see if it lives up to the hype.
Right, because a roadmap is great.
Yeah.
But is it the right one for us?
Exact.
For Gen Z?
Exactly.
Navigating this crazy economy.
And David starts off strong.
Okay.
He's highlighting this idea that Gen Z isn't just entering the workforce, we're changing it.
Interesting.
He calls the gig economy a powerhouse.
Okay.
Which might sound a little over the top, but honestly, it's kind of true.
Okay, I'll bite.
Yeah.
I get that like freelancing and side hustles have been around forever, but what makes it different for our generation?
Think about it.
Okay.
Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr give us like a global reach that wasn't possible before.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not even just about traditional skills.
Yeah.
Davids points out how many Gen Zers are, monetizing their hobbies.
Interesting.
Like teaching knitting online.
Yeah.
Or selling handmade jewelry through Etsy.
So it's like turning your passion into a paycheck.
Right.
Which is cool. But is it reliable?
Right.
Can you really build a solid financial future that way?
That's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah.
Davids argues that Gen Z is actually better equipped to handle like the ups and downs of the gig economy.
Interesting.
We're adaptable.
I mean, I guess so.
We're tech savvy.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid to hustle.
True.
I mean, look at us.
I see where he's coming from, but I also feel like there's this pressure.
Yeah.
To be constantly on, like you have to be creating content or finding clients 24/7.
Yeah.
Just to stay afloat.
Go.
That
hustle mentality can be a lot.
Yeah, it can feel kind of overwhelming.
Absolutely. And that's a valid concern.
Okay.
Davids does acknowledge the potential for burnout.
Good.
And he stresses the importance of setting boundaries.
Okay.
And diversifying income streams.
That makes sense.
And he actually suggests using gig economy income to fuel investments.
Ooh, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
The ebook mentions some pretty interesting investment options.
Right.
Right, not just the usual stocks and bonds.
Right. He dives into things like fractional shares.
Okay.
So you can own tiny pieces of big companies.
Interesting.
And even real estate platforms like Fundrise and Roofstock.
Okay, wait, back up.
Yeah.
Fractional shares, I kind of get.
Yep.
It's like pooling your money with others.
Yes.
To buy a piece of Apple or Tesla.
Exactly.
Right. But how does real estate investing work when you're just starting out?
That's where these platforms come in.
Okay.
Fundrise, for example, lets you invest in commercial real estate.
Wow.
With as little as $10.
Seriously.
And Roofstock focuses on single-family rental properties.
So you're basically becoming like a mini landlord.
You got it.
Without having to buy a whole house.
Exactly.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But isn't real estate super risky? Like what if the market crashes?
Right.
Or your tenant like trashes the place?
There are definitely risks involved. Yeah. And Davids doesn't shy away from that.
Okay.
He emphasizes doing your research, understanding the market, and considering your risk tolerance. But he also points out that real estate has historically been a solid investment.
Okay.
Especially long term.
I guess the key takeaway here is that there are more options than we realize.
Exactly.
Even if we're not swimming in cash right now.
Right.
Which, let's be honest, most of us aren't.
Most of us are not. And this leads into one of David's core messages.
Okay.
The importance of starting early, even with small amounts.
Small amounts, okay.
He even throws in a specific calculation.
Oh, cool.
To illustrate the power of compound interest.
Okay.
Which, let's be honest, is pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
When you see it in black and white.
Compound interest, that's the whole money-making money thing, right?
That's it.
I always hear about it, but it feels kind of abstract.
He breaks it down with a hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
Let's say you invest just $50 a month.
Okay.
Starting at age 20 with an average annual return of 7%.
Okay.
By the time you hit 60, that small monthly investment could grow to over $100,000.
Wait, seriously? Over $100,000 from just $50 a month?
It's wild, right?
That's crazy.
It really highlights how time is your biggest asset when it comes to investing.
Time is money.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see why Davids is so hyped about Gen Z's potential.
Yeah.
But let's be real. not all of us are finance whizzes.
Right.
Where do we even begin to learn this stuff?
Well, aside from tuning into insightful deep dives like this one,
Of course.
David's is a huge advocate for financial literacy.
Okay.
He suggests checking out free resources like Khan Academy and NerdWallet, which offer tons of information on budgeting, investing, and even understanding things like credit scores.
Speaking of credit scores,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole other beast
Yeah.
that Gen Z struggles with. It's like this mysterious number that controls our lives.
It can feel that way, yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
And David's dedicates a whole section to demystifying credit scores.
Okay.
He compares it to a financial report card.
Okay.
Which I thought was a great analogy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we get a good grade on this report card?
Yeah.
What does David's recommend?
He breaks it down into really practical steps.
Yeah.
First, understand what factors influence your score.
Okay.
Payment history,
Okay.
amounts owed, length of credit history, new credit, and credit mix.
Okay, so like a variety of things.
A variety, yeah.
Okay.
Then focus on building positive habits.
Okay.
Like paying your bills on time.
Of course.
And keeping credit card balances low.
So it's not just about avoiding debt.
Right.
It's about using credit responsibly.
Exactly.
To actually build your score.
You got it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So Davis actually suggests starting with a secured credit card.
He does.
Which requires a cash deposit as collateral.
Right.
Okay.
It's a lower risk way to start building credit.
Okay.
Especially if you're new to the game.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like trading wheels for your credit score.
I like that.
But even with all this info,
Yeah.
it still feels like there's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
Are there any tools that David's recommends?
He's a big fan of free credit monitoring services.
Okay. Like Credit Karma?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
They let you track your score,
Okay.
see what's impacting it,
Okay.
and even get personalized recommendations for improvement.
Okay, that's super helpful.
Yeah,
It's like having a personal finance coach in your pocket.
exactly.
But I have to admit, all this talk about credit scores and investing,
yeah.
it can feel kind of daunting when you're just trying to make rent
Right.
and maybe have a little fun money left over.
For sure. Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
And that's where David's emphasis on mindset comes in.
Okay.
He argues that building wealth isn't just about the mechanics of finance.
Okay.
It's about shifting your perspective.
So like adopting a wealth building mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
But how do you do that when you're surrounded by messages that tell you to spend, spend, spend?
It's a constant battle.
Yeah.
But David's offers some practical tips.
Okay, like what?
He talks about the power of visualization.
Literally picturing your financial goals.
Oh, interesting.
And surrounding yourself with positive influences,
Right.
like joining online communities
Okay.
focused on personal finance.
You know, I've actually found that super helpful.
Really?
Yeah, I recently joined a subreddit
Cool.
for Gen Z investors.
Awesome.
And it's been amazing to see other people my age talking about their goals
Yeah.
and sharing advice.
That's fantastic.
That's really cool.
David's really stresses the importance of community
Okay.
and finding mentors
Yeah.
who can guide you along the way. It's like building a support system for your financial journey.
It's like we're all in this together.
Exactly.
Trying to figure it out.
We are.
And having that shared experience can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially when you're feeling overwhelmed or discouraged.
Absolutely.
It's nice to know that you're not alone.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's what makes David's approach so appealing.
I agree.
He's not just talking at Gen Z. He's speaking to us.
He is.
Acknowledging our unique challenges and offering solutions
Like-
that feel realistic and attainable.
They do.
You know, one thing that struck me while reading the ebook
Yeah.
was how optimistic it is.
It is.
David's really seems to believe in Gen Z's potential
Yes.
to not just build wealth for ourselves, but to actually change the financial landscape
Yes.
as a whole.
I love that
Yeah.
he talks about how our generation is more socially conscious,
Okay.
more focused on sustainability,
Yeah.
and more likely to invest in companies that align with our values.
That's true.
It's almost like he sees Gen Z as this force for positive change.
Yeah.
Not just in finance,
Yeah.
but in the world at large.
That's actually pretty inspiring.
It is.
It's like, yeah, we're facing a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Student debt, climate change,
For sure.
a crazy job market. But we also have this incredible opportunity
We do.
to do things differently,
I agree.
to build a more equitable and sustainable future.
Totally.
And that's where David's focus on financial literacy comes full circle.
I think so.
He argues that the more financially empowered we are,
Right.
the more agency we have to create the world we want to see.
I love that.
Okay, so I have to ask.
Yeah.
Does David's ebook actually live up to its title? Is this really the roadmap to financial freedom for Gen Z?
It's not a magic bullet,
Okay.
of course.
Right.
But I think it does provide a solid framework for thinking about wealth creation in a way that feels relevant
Yeah.
and accessible to our generation.
It does.
He covers a wide range of topics,
He does.
from side hustles to investing to mindset, and he does it in a way that's engaging,
Yeah.
informative,
He does keep it interesting.
and even a bit humorous at times.
Yeah, he's funny.
He is.
He definitely doesn't shy away from the realities
Yeah.
of being Gen Z
Yeah.
in today's economy,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah. He's real about it.
Yeah.
He talks about things like student loan debt.
Yeah.
And the rising cost of living.
Right.
And he offers practical strategies for navigating those challenges.
He does. He does.
He also emphasizes the importance of seeking professional advice
Okay.
when needed.
Okay.
Whether that's from a financial advisor,
Okay.
a tax professional, or even a therapist
Oh, interesting.
to help manage the mental and emotional aspects of money.
Yeah, money can be stressful.
It can be, yeah.
It's like he's acknowledging
Yeah.
that this stuff can be complex.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little extra support,
Right.
and that's okay.
It is. It is.
It's about finding the resources
Yeah.
and building the support system that works best for you.
Exactly.
So for all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
what would you say are the top 3 takeaways from David's ebook? What should Gen Z really focus on?
First, I'd say embrace the gig economy,
Okay.
but do it strategically. Don't just jump into the first side hustle you see.
Right.
Think about your skills,
Okay.
your passions, and what you can realistically commit to.
That's good advice.
And then use those gig earnings to fuel your next step,
Which is?
investing.
Okay.
Start early, even if it's just a small amount.
Okay.
David's makes a compelling case for the power of compound interest.
Yeah.
And the sooner you get started,
Right.
the more time your money has to grow.
Time is money, as they say.
Exactly. Okay.
Makes sense?
And finally, don't underestimate the importance of financial literacy.
Okay.
Take advantage of free resources like Khan Academy and NerdWallet,
Okay.
or consider investing in a course or a financial advisor.
Okay.
If you need more personalized guidance, knowledge is power,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to your money.
So basically, hustle smart,
Yeah,
invest early,
right.
and never stop learning.
That's it.
Sounds like a solid plan to me.
I think so too.
But I'm curious, what about you? What personally resonated with you the most
Yeah.
from David's ebook?
You know, what struck me
Yeah.
was how David's reframes the concept of financial freedom.
Okay.
It's not just about being rich.
Okay.
It's about having choices.
Right.
It's about having the financial security
Yeah.
to pursue your passions.
Yeah.
Take risks and live life on your own terms.
I love that.
It's a good one.
It's like money isn't the goal.
Right.
It's the tool
Yeah.
that allows you to achieve your goals.
Exactly.
It's about freedom.
It is.
Yeah.
And that shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering.
Well said.
Thanks.
So to all our All Things Money viewers out there,
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
Let us know.
What's one strategy from David's ebook that you're going to explore further?
Yeah.
Hit us up in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
We would.
And if you're hungry for more insights on building wealth
Yeah.
and achieving financial freedom, make sure you catch our next video.
It's going to be a good one.
Until then, keep hustling, keep learning,
Yeah.
and keep those money questions coming.
Yep. Keep him coming.